Hey, what's up, Coin Fam? In today's video, we're going to be talking about coins worth money. We're talking about valuable coins that sold for over $5,000. Some of these coins were even found in pocket change. Let's get right into it. Error and variety coins are fun to find, and some of them can be worth a lot of money. But there's no substitute for a highly graded coin with a low population. This is a super rare 1981 San Francisco minted Susan B. Anthony dollar. The reason it's so rare is because of the condition of the coin. This coin is the highest grade ever graded to date. It came in at mint state 67 plus on a scale from 1 to 70. If you're a coin collector with a lot of money, price is no obstacle to get what you want. This Susan B. Anthony dollar sold at auction for $21,600. You're looking at a 1985 nickel that sold for over $9,000. Why did it sell for so much? This isn't an error or variety coin. It was the sole highest graded 1985 Philadelphia minted nickel at the time of the sale. You can tell by the detail that this nickel was struck well and has minimal marks from circulation, with little signs of wear. This nickel was submitted to PCGS for grading and came back a mint state 67 plus. Here are some pictures with different lighting. The lighting change makes the nickel look much better, but also makes the blemishes more obvious. If you were given this nickel tomorrow as change from the convenience store, would you think it was worth submitting for grading? This picture is a little blurry, but it looks like this might be a blurred split serif here on the L in Liberty. You can see doubling on the I, B, as well as the E, R, and T. Both coins were graded by PCGS. This one came back about uncirculated 50 and sold at auction for $211. This one graded mint state 66, a much higher grade, and it brought in a lot more money too. The mint state 66 bicentennial quarter sold at auction for $8,400. Look at the beautiful toning on this 1939 Jefferson nickel. Natural toning doesn't get much better than this right here. It's uniform around the edges of the obverse and reverse of the coin. This is a proof nickel that was graded proof 68 on a scale from 1 to 70. And this is a top grade registry coin. In addition to the incredible toning on the reverse of this nickel, it's also blessed with the 1949 reverse design, which enhances the detail of the stairs on the back of the coin compared to the 1938 reverse design you find on most 1939 proof nickels. These nickels are very rare in such high grades, so rare that this 1939 Jefferson nickel with the 1940 reverse sold at auction for $15,600. You probably recognize this as being a normal penny. Have you ever come across one that looks like this? This penny isn't made of copper or zinc like the pennies of today. The 1943 Lincoln cent is made of steel with a thin layer of zinc. During World War II, copper was needed for ammunition and other wartime equipment. After experimenting with coins made from other metals and plastics, the decision was made to use zinc-coated steel. This caused problems because these pennies were frequently confused with dimes. Because the steel cents were magnetized, they were picked up by vending machine magnets used to detect steel slugs, and these pennies were also prone to rust. I've never come across a steel cent in circulation, but they can easily be bought at coin shops or online for some reasonable prices. This is really a beautiful coin. You're not going to see a better looking 1943 steely out there. This penny was graded mint state 68 by PCGS, and it sold at auction for $7,200. Take a look at this 1943 Philadelphia minted silver nickel. It's not completely silver. It's 56% copper, 9% manganese, and 35% silver. This is a great looking coin, especially for being from 1943. This nickel sold for a lot of money, and it wasn't just because of the grade and condition. This nickel is a double die obverse, which means that when the die was being created, it rotated in between strikes with the hub. This caused some of the coin details to be doubled. These pictures are clear, but they aren't the best for showing the doubling. The signs of doubling are the most obvious where you see the arrows. The doubling becomes obvious when you get to the word Liberty and the date. The high grade and the rare variety combined resulted in the auction sale of this nickel for $11,500. This is one jacked up bicentennial quarter. For an error coin collector, it's a work of art. The coin is split in two locations. The design is fractured and incomplete, and when you turn it over, there's even more chaos. There's a dismembered hand holding a drumstick, a few extra stars, and a mangled design. It looks like this coin went through the Revolutionary War, but this quarter was simply the victim of a double strike on a 10-cent planchet. It's unusual that this quarter was ever made in the first place, and then somehow it made it out of the mint. I wonder how this happened. This double-struck quarter, struck on a dime planchet, is also a proof coin. It was sent to PCGS and received a grade of Proof 67 Cameo. It sold at auction for $9,000. Here's a very sought-after error variety on a 1971 San Francisco minted proof nickel. You can normally tell if a coin was minted by the San Francisco Mint by looking for the S mint mark, but you won't find a mint mark on this one. That's why this nickel is sought after by collectors. So what do you think happened to the S? The San Francisco Mint did actually strike these coins, but the Philadelphia Mint was responsible for creating the dies, and they sent over a die missing the S mint mark. Mint officials estimate that about 1,700 of the no S proof nickels were released for sale for that year. This no S 1971 nickel was graded Proof 69 DCAM for Deep Cameo, and it sold at auction for over $7,600. This is the 1968 no S dime. This is different from the 1982 no P dime because this is a proof coin and it's supposed to have an S mint mark for the San Francisco Mint. Dies were created for these proof coins in Philadelphia and shipped to San Francisco to put into service. The S mint mark was inadvertently left off one of the dies intended to mint proof sets. About 24 examples of this variety have been discovered. There may be more out there, but you're not going to find them in pocket change. You have to check your 1968 proof sets. If your proof set is missing the S mint mark, boom, baby, you found one. This 1968 no S Roosevelt proof dime was graded Proof 69, and it sold at auction for $40,800. Here's a beautiful 1957 Proof 68 red Deep Cameo wheat cent. There's nothing at all wrong with this coin. Its value isn't derived from an error or a variety. It's solely because this penny is so sexy. This work of art sold at auction for $7,200. Here's an ordinary-looking 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin with a hidden secret that can be very valuable. In 1979, there was a slight modification to the design of this coin. The rim around the coin was made thinner. The thicker rim is a rare variety that most people aren't even aware of. The variety is known as the wide rim variety. It's also been called the near date variety. Here's what the wide rim variety looks like compared to the more common design for this year. You don't see these in circulation much, but you can always ask your teller if they have any in their drawers. You can even order boxes of dollar coins from your bank. This one was graded Mint State 67 Plus, and it sold at auction for over $6,400. This is a 1939 Jefferson nickel. It looks like it's in pretty good condition, doesn't it? This Jefferson nickel is still sporting its original mint luster. It graded Mint State 67. What about those steps, though? If you were grading this, would you give it the full steps designation? The picture is a little blurry, and it's not the greatest, but these steps are full. A Mint State 67 1939 Jefferson nickel with full steps is pretty good, but it's not worth the $20,562 sold for auction price. Did you see what we missed when we were checking out the steps on the reverse? Look at the doubling on the letters of the word Monticello and on the words 5 and cents. This is a DDR, or double die reverse. The doubling on this nickel, along with the high mint grade and full steps designation, is what caused this valuable nickel to sell for over $20,000. Take a look at this beauty. This is a silver 1976 bicentennial quarter minted in San Francisco. This coin looks so good, it was submitted to PCGS for grading. There's nothing wrong with it, no errors, no variety, just a good-looking quarter. In fact, this coin came back a mint state 69. It doesn't get much better than that. At the time of the sale, there were no 1976 silver quarters with a strike and mint mark in a better grade than this one right here. This highly graded near-perfect quarter sold at Heritage Auctions for $6,600. Here's a silver 1956 Roosevelt dime. It's a really good-looking coin, and the toning on it is cool AF. There's no toning on the back, but it does have a healthy set of FB right there. This silver dime is actually the finest graded dime for this year and mint mark that PCGS graded, and that adds to a lot of value. It came in at a mint state 68 on a scale from 1 to 70, and this silver dime brought in $9,987 at auction. This is an extremely valuable Jefferson nickel. It has some cool looking subtle peach toning around the edges of the obverse of the coin. The reverse of the nickel isn't as flattering, but there's a feature on the reverse that gives this nickel a whole lot of value. Can you see it yet? We'll talk about it shortly. This is a 1942 Denver minted nickel. It's in pretty good shape too. It was submitted to PCGS for grading and came back a respectable mint state 66 with a full steps designation. The value kick on this nickel is actually the D mint mark. This is called a D over horizontal D mint mark, and it's a known rare variety. Most people don't know this, but up until late 1989, the mint mark was hand punched onto the working die by a mint employee. It's likely that the mint employee didn't check the direction of the punch before applying it to the die. The original D was punched horizontally, and then it was corrected, but evidence of this error was still present. You can still see the original punch with the naked eye. This variety is very rare in uncirculated condition, with less than 100 examples known. This variety is highly desirable by collectors, so desirable that this one right here, it sold at auction for over $17,000. This is a beautiful nickel, and it's not just because the way Tom looks at me with his dreamy, deep-set nickel-colored eyes. This is one of the newer nickels. It was minted in 2011 in Denver, Colorado. This nickel graded an incredible mint state 68 and is in such good condition it was even given the full steps designation. The steps on the reverse are so clear and crisp, this 1968 nickel was the top grade for the year and the mint mark, and was the only coin graded this high when it was sold at auction. All of these factors made it possible for this rare coin to sell for almost $6,500. Here's a regular strike 1957 wheat cent. This coin was minted in Philadelphia. No errors, no variety, just one of the highest graded pennies for this year and mint mark. This penny graded mint state 67 plus, and it sold at auction for over $20,000. Take a look at this golden dollar. This is a 1999 Philadelphia minted Susan B. Anthony dollar, and it's not supposed to be gold. This dollar coin was found in a bankroll. It's not really gold, just golden in color. This Susan B. Anthony dollar was minted on a Sacagawea dollar planchet. This golden Susan B. Anthony dollar was graded mint state 64. It sold at auction for over $10,500. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.